Stampers, Deb Valder here, your Fun Stampers Journey Coach. I am here to show you the cutest card ever using one of our ATSs, which is short for our Artist Trading Stamps. It's called Pretty Birds, and this is the little bird that I'm going to use on this. Isn't this the cutest thing? You can get it free as a hostess, or you can purchase it as a customer for $7.95. Just the cutest thing ever. I also wanted to show you that we have background stamps that are normal size. What I mean by that is they're the full size of the background, but we also have background stamps that are just the ATS size. So that is this one right here, and this one's called Palm Fronds. I'm also going to use a set that has, it looks like it's an Easter set because it says Happy Easter, but I'm going to use this as the inside to my card, and I thought that they lended themselves very well together. So I just think it's just the cutest card, super fast. If you need something to make one of your friends giggle, this is the one for you, this card right here. So let's get started. I'm going to do a little bit, a different spin on this card. I already went ahead and I embossed the outside of it with our Petal Walls embossing folder, and on the inside I added a white piece of paper so that I could, a white piece of cardstock, so that I could stamp my saying on the inside. So I did a little bit of prep work for you. The next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do this background. So let's bring in my background stamp and my lemongrass ink, and I'm just going to ink this up with my lemongrass ink, and I will bring in a piece of paper just to cover it so my hands don't get dirty. Okay, there is a little something in there, so let me see if I can get that out. I think I did. Oops, it's right there now. Okay, doesn't that ever happen to you? All right, so we're going to take and we're going to use this side then and just lay this down very carefully and grab a scrap sheet of paper and lay it down. Now when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you use the flat of your hand. If you, when you're doing your backgrounds, if you do this, what it does is it gives it very uneven pressure. So you'll have a dark spot here and a light spot here. It'll all get inked up, but it won't be the same color because you're not giving it the same pressure. So if you use the flat of your hands when you do this method, you will get a nice even coating on there. Alrighty, so that's just scrap paper, and then this should come out just absolutely gorgeous. It's a really cute little stamp. Alright, so now let's put our top on here, and let's do, there's that little thing again. Alright, so then we're going to take and we're going to do our little bird, and this bird is so uber cute. I can't stand it. So here's our black licorice. Let me get my little bird and ink my bird up. I like to bring the ink to the stamp instead of the stamp to the ink because then you can make sure that the whole thing is all inked up very nicely. Alright, so our little bird is inked, and now let's stamp, and now it is time to color. So what we're going to color with is our pastels. Okay, these are our pan pastels. This is the blender, so I'm not gonna take that. I'm not gonna use that one first. I'm gonna take and grab all my colors. And these are the colors that are the ones that I'm using for this particular thing. Always go light to dark. It just makes it a lot easier when you go light to dark. I'm not an artist, but that's a no-brainer. Light to dark. If you just kind of remember that. So I've got my yellow on here, and you see that I'm not kind of brushing it. All I'm doing is dabbing the color. You don't want a lot of dust. Dust is not good. So what I'm going to do is just do the inside of this right here, and because we have this little applicator, it just makes the smaller images easier to color. Now, for down here on the bottom, I think I'm done with my lemon drop here. For my color down here on the bottom, I'm going to take, because it's a smaller area, I'm going to use the tip of this. So I'm going to take and bring in this color right here, all right, and just kind of brush it in to the bottom. And you see how I'm using the tip more? It gives it such good control. All right, so I'm just going to brush that in on the bottom. So much fun. Alrighty, so let's just bring in a little bit more right here. And I'll go to the way you clean these is just take a paper towel and just dab it. You don't want to scrape, because if you do, what's going to end up happening is you're going to take and you're going to tear this, and you don't want to do that. You want to be as gentle as you can with it. And now I'm going to bring in my red and just do the, now see, I'm really using the tip on this one so that I can just get into this very small little spot, and I'm just dabbing the color on just like this. I want this to be nice and dark. Alrighty, so now a lot of people ask, do I put a fixative on that? Well, I'm one that doesn't like to the smells. You know, they're pretty dangerous for you if you're inhaling those, and if you're in a small room, it's just a very dangerous kind of thing. So what I'm going to tell you that I use is, and you can use whatever you want, there are fixatives for these. What I use is just a pump hairspray. That's it. That's what I use. I just use a pump hairspray, and it just makes it so that it doesn't smudge. All right. You got to remember, this is just being applied, and it will come off. So if you want, you can just take and spray it a little bit. And like I said, if you use the pump, there's no aerosol, and it is better for the environment. So just kind of take that into consideration. All right, so now this right here, this is what we call the colorless blender. It's not white. If it was white and I dabbed it on here, it would change the blue to a lighter blue. But what this does is it blends them together so that the two colors aren't like, see how it's just so rigid? It's rigid. We want to just take and add a little bit of this and marry the two of them together, just like this. You see how it's lightening up? It's marrying the two of them together. There we go. All right, it just softens it. It makes it so that they're just so soft. You see? Isn't that cute? And then let's go down, and I'm dabbing off the excess color. I'm gonna bring this in here and do the same thing down here for the orange and the yellow, just so that it doesn't look like it is a rigid line. Now the other day, I'm going to tell you another little trick here. The other day, we had a gal who got the red into the eyes, and it was the funniest thing. We laughed so hard because it looked like this poor bird had had too much to drink. Now what I'm doing is I'm just taking one of these artist erasers, and I'm just stretching it to clean it off. And what I'm going to do, if you get anywhere you don't want, and this is where the lady's red eyes, really, we use the eraser on that. Yes, this stuff does erase. So all I did was come in here and just erase where I didn't want it. And that's what we did with her eyes, and they came out nice and white, and her little bird was rehabbed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to cut this out. So I'm going to take my shears right here and just, I like to start with a smaller piece and just cut it out. And I'm going to go do that and come back, and we will put it all together. All right, so I'm back, and I'm going to take all my pieces and show you how I assembled my card. I am going to add a little bit of extra right here, and that would be my little leaves. This is another die that we have in the catalog, and I'm just going to add these to it also. So I'm going to take my bird, and I've added on one side, I've added a mini one of the smaller foam squares, and I added some of my Easy Glide on that side. So that's, oops, wait a minute, let's add this first. So right here, what we're going to do is add my Journey foam squares to the middle, just like this, so that it's popped up. I'm not going to even take that one off. That one's just a piece so that it doesn't cave in, you know. There's nothing worse than a saggy background. So we're just going to take these off like this and add that to here. Now I'm going to add my little bird. Let's get that straight here. Okay, and now I'm going to add my bird. Now the reason I have my Journey foam square here is because this is raised up, and the reason I have the tape here is because we didn't want it to be lopsided. So the Journey foam square will be the same size as the size on this side. So this is raised up, and so is that. Isn't that neat? Isn't that the cutest thing ever? And then I'm going to grab some of my mini glue dots, and I'm going to put those on the back of here. I love that they're on that separate sheet of paper. Okay, and then we'll add that to our little piece right here. Now, what I do want to do is to pop up a few little pieces, and that's why having different sizes of these foam squares are totally awesome, because I want it to look like it's dimensional, and these are small enough that you don't have to fuss with cutting them, and it just makes it look so much cuter. So I've got a couple of journey squares on there, the foam squares, and I've got a couple of mini glue dots there, and that is our card. And on the inside, I just stamped the words to one of my favorite peeps. Now, what I'd like to do is have you tell me which one you like better. Excuse me, do you like the one that is embossed, or do you like the one that's plain? I love them both, but we just added a little bit of dimension, more dimension to this one. I hope you liked my post. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. You take care, have a great day, and stop back soon. Bye-bye.